Hello and welcome. You are now looking at a Google search for the copyright renewal database at Stanford University. And you may be wondering why we're looking at that. Now, one of the ways that digital product creators have been working probably for the last 7 years. Some of them have been doing it diligently, others have stopped, but they have been converting public domain materials into physical products. And we've already talked about one of the ways in which you do that. Now, right now you're looking at the renewal database search. But in this case, you're looking at worldcat.org. And what worldcat.org is, it's a library system that really searches for library books all over the world. And in this particular case, we can do an advanced search. And what we can do is we can actually search by keyword. So in this case, we could look for copywriting. Now, one of the key, I guess, methods in order to use this properly is you want to make sure that the years that you're searching for are going to fall well within the years in which you would have public domain materials available. And in this particular case, you want to make sure that the searches that you're looking for are going to be after let's say 1923, and I think it's within to 1962. And the reason that you're going to do that is that this is the gray area for public domain works. And if someone is probably not going to go as far as to take a look to see whether or not something has a copyright on it, it's going to fall within this area. And you're probably going to find some of the best public domain works to be used within those years. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to click the search button here. And now what we have here is we have all of the public domain works that are in here, and anything that falls within this period that has not had the copyright the copyright renewed, it can actually be used as a public domain work. So what we want to do is I'm going to go here within, I'm going to go well within the dates. I'm going to go back to maybe 1950. And I'm going to see if there's something that might be usable. And there are going to be three items that are going to be here. There's a book review on copywriting, and then there's advertising copywriting. So let's take a look at advertising copywriting. Now I'm going to find here that this book is within the range of my physical location. But what I'm most interested in is the title and the authors. And if this book has not been renewed in terms of its copyright, then it is free to be used as public domain material. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a simple search here. If we find that, okay, so if it's not within the copyright renewal database, then that means there's a chance that we can actually use this as a public domain work. So we want to go and we want to do a more a deeper level search. So we're going to take now the authors that are here, and we're going to look through each one, right? So we're gonna make sure that we, okay, so that author's not there. This author's not here. Okay, actually this author is here. So this author is here for 3 other books, but not for this one. Right, so then let's take a look for the last author. You know, all of those books have the copyright renewed. And John, this one. Okay, so in this particular case, the copyrights are renewed for everything except for this one. Now, what we want to do then is we want to have a look at this book, and we want to actually not do a lot of spending of money. So if you're in the United States, you can actually go to your public library, and you can have this book sent to you by interlibrary loan. And you want to kind of take a look at it to see if there's anything in there that you can use as public domain content. right? And you can use the content any way that you want. You can actually redo this book into a more modern day book. Anything that you want to do with public domain material, you're kind of free to. Now I'm going to encourage you to grab, and I think we've got some things on our site that give you the basics of public domain works and how you can use them, and kind of what you want to do to go further. But you've got some idea now that this book could very well be in the public domain. You've got the alternative now that you can actually use this as content. Now you do want to go through another verification process, but this initial search will kind of cut down on a lot of the search that you'll need to do in order to start narrowing down whether or not something is usable and whether or not it's available. So what we've done is we've nailed down the first two steps of finding public domain works. Is it usable, meaning that the copyright hasn't been renewed, and is it available? So it's available, so now we can take the next step. Okay, so if you have any questions on further doing more investigation, there is lots of material on how to use public domain works, but it's an art that's kind of lost, primarily due to the fact that a couple of years back Amazon stopped allowing public domain works to be used as Kindle works. However, there are lots of ways to use public domain works, in addition to really putting it into other forms. And we've been talking about those in our videos. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.